All right, welcome to another deep dive. We are diving into Food Edmonton.
Oh, nice.
It's a website, and we've got a whole bunch of reviews.
Okay.
A whole bunch of recipes.
Okay.
And even some like local insights from Food Edmonton. So if you are someone who's looking to maybe try out some new spots in Edmonton, or maybe just someone who really just wants to be more in the know about like what is good,
Totally.
then this deep dive is for you.
It's exciting. It's really interesting to see this mix of professional reviews with sort of just like everyday foodie experiences, which I think is really fun. It gives us a much richer picture of what's cooking.
Absolutely. And speaking of cooking, they have this article here called 10 plus helpful cooking tips, which might sound pretty basic, but I think there's some really good stuff in here.
Yeah, always back to basics.
Always back to basics.
Yeah.
And they start off by talking about this term, mise en place, which might sound kind of fancy, but it's basically just having all of your ingredients prepped and ready to go before you actually start cooking.
Gotcha.
So it's like, you know, chopping your onions, measuring your spices. Having everything just kind of within arm's reach.
Mise en place,
So you're not like, you know, scrambling around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game changer, honestly. I've been cooking for years, and I still swear by it.
Yeah.
It just makes the whole process so much smoother.
Oh, for sure.
Less stressful, more enjoyable, and it really does help you avoid those little culinary disasters like burning your garlic while you're frantically searching for the paprika.
Oh, I've done that so many times.
Happens to the best of us.
Oh, yeah. Like set off the smoke alarm almost because I was trying to chop the herbs while things were burning.
Yeah.
But here's another tip that really caught my eye.
Okay.
And it's understanding heat control, which, you know, again, sounds pretty basic.
Yeah.
But
low, medium, high heat?
Right, low, medium, high. But they specifically mention medium heat as being the sweet spot for sautéing.
Okay.
And it made me wonder how many times I've maybe overcooked something or undercooked something just because I wasn't really paying close attention to the heat.
It's easy to overlook those seemingly basic instructions.
Yeah.
And I you know, we tend to just jump right into a recipe.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's those little subtle details that really make a difference in the final result. It reminds me of this time I was trying to impress a date with this fancy pasta dish.
Okay.
Right? Follow the recipe to a T, but I completely ignored the part about simmering the sauce for a full hour.
Oh, no.
And let's just say the date didn't go so well.
Oh, no.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Pay attention to those cooking tips. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's move on to something I know we're both very excited to talk about, which is burgers. We've got a whole stack of burger reviews here. Some good, some not so good.
Okay.
We'll start with the one that really made me cringe.
Okay.
And it's the Black River Homestyle burgers.
Black River Homestyle burgers.
They did not hold back on this review. Like, they described the patties as rubbery discs.
Rubbery discs. Oof.
Bland and oddly artificial flavor.
It's so harsh. I'm curious, you know, the descriptive language here is quite vivid.
Yeah.
But is it actually helpful? It makes me wonder, you know, where's the line between constructive criticism and just being mean?
Right. You definitely don't want to try these burgers. And it's funny because the packaging promises a hearty home-style delight.
Right.
But then they go on to say that the beef patty is actually a blend of chicken, beef, and wait for it, toasted wheat crumbs.
Toasted wheat crumbs?
Toasted wheat crumbs.
In a burger.
Yeah, I don't know what they were going for.
That's a curious choice, to say the least.
Yeah.
I think sometimes restaurants try to cut corners with, you know, cheaper ingredients.
Yeah.
And it really shows in the final product.
Totally.
Like, they've forgotten that people can actually taste the difference.
Yeah. It's like the packaging can look good, but it doesn't always translate to a good experience.
Totally.
Now, speaking of expectation, we actually have another burger review that I was very surprised by.
Okay.
And it's for Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. Okay.
I know. I know. It's a chain restaurant.
Yeah.
But this review was overwhelmingly positive.
Interesting.
Like, they raved about the crispy fries, the perfectly battered onion rings, the friendly service, clean restaurant.
Yeah.
It kind of made me realize that sometimes, you know what, you just want that classic nostalgic experience. And who doesn't love a good DQ Blizzard?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get so caught up in chasing, like, the next big thing that we forget to appreciate the simple pleasures. It's like that saying, sometimes the best burger is the one you grew up with.
Yeah.
Like, there's something comforting about familiarity.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, too, if this review speaks to the power of consistency.
Yeah.
Like, Dairy Queen has been around forever.
Yeah.
They've pretty much perfected their formula.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting every time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's exactly what you crave.
Absolutely. I think there's something to be said for reliability, especially when it comes to food.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes you do want those culinary adventures.
Sure.
And that leads us to our next segment, Hidden Gems.
Bring on the hidden gems.
Yes.
I'm always up for discovering those under-the-radar spots that truly capture the heart of city's food scene. It's where you often find the most authentic flavors, the most passionate chefs.
Exactly. And we've got a couple of reviews here that just scream hidden gem. So the first one is Java Gems Get Stuffed Restaurant.
Java Gems Get Stuffed.
Yes.
Okay.
This review painted such a charming picture.
Nice.
Like, they talked about a cozy atmosphere, friendly service, a menu that emphasizes fresh, local ingredients.
Right.
They raved about the stuffed French toast, which sounds absolutely divine.
What stands out to you about this review?
I think it's the emphasis on the restaurant's connection to the community.
Okay.
Like, they source their ingredients from local farms, local suppliers, and that not only supports the local economy, but also, you know, guarantees freshness and quality.
Right.
It just adds a whole other layer of meaning to the dining experience.
It makes you think about, you know, we often overlook the stories behind our food.
Right.
Who grew it?
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
What traditions and techniques went into preparing it?
Right.
It's fascinating to kind of delve into that deeper level of appreciation.
Yeah. Like uncovering this hidden treasure. And speaking of hidden treasures,
Yes.
we have another review that really piqued my curiosity, and it is for the Iron Lady Saloon.
Ooh, saloon. Tell me more.
A saloon. So this place is steeped in history. It's been around for ages.
Wow.
Apparently, it has this incredible old-world ambiance.
Nice.
They've got a wide selection of craft beers, live music, and then a menu that features classic pub fare with a modern twist.
Okay.
They even have a signature steak called the Iron Lady Special, which has this secret sauce that has been passed down through generations.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like taking a step back in time while still enjoying those contemporary flavors.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that food isn't just about sustenance. It's about connecting with the past, preserving traditions, and creating new memories.
I love that. Okay. So we've got cozy cafes, historic saloons. Let's add a dash of Latin flavor to the mix with La Morenita.
Let's spice things up.
Yeah.
I'm always up for some delicious Latin cuisine.
Okay.
What did they have to say about La Morenita?
So the review mentioned that the tacos were tasty, but they were a bit on the small side, which, you know, something to keep in mind if you are really hungry or maybe dining with a group.
Yeah, for sure.
But what really caught my eye was their description of the desserts.
Okay.
They called the flan and the strawberry cake heavenly.
Heavenly. High praise.
High praise.
Coming from, you know, a dessert enthusiast.
Exactly.
I'm starting to sense a theme here.
Yeah.
Edmonton's got a knack for delivering exceptional desserts.
It does.
Is there something in the water?
I know.
Or maybe it's just that Canadian hospitality shining through in every bite.
Maybe they have like a secret society of pastry chefs.
Could be.
Okay, so before we get too carried away with our dessert dreams, let's talk about something you can actually make at home.
Okay.
And it is Don's pickled beets.
Homemade pickled beets. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I love the idea of bringing those local flavors right into your own kitchen.
Right. And this recipe seems surprisingly straightforward.
Okay.
You basically just need beets, vinegar, sugar, and a few spices.
Okay.
And the best part is that they can be stored for up to 3 months.
Wow.
So you can enjoy that tangy, earthy goodness all winter long.
It's a great way to just add a little pop of color and flavor to your meals.
Yes.
And you know what? Pickled beets are incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
You can enjoy them as a side dish, toss them in salads, even use them to kind of brighten up sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of adding them to my avocado toast.
Okay.
It's a delicious and unexpected combination.
Nice. Okay. So we've covered cooking tips, burgers, both good and bad, hidden gems, heavenly desserts, and even homemade pickled beets.
Wow, what a culinary journey we've had so far.
What a journey.
It's amazing what you can find when you just start digging into these local food scenes.
I know. And the journey continues.
Yes, it does.
Because next we'll be exploring the power of exceptional service with this heartwarming review of Candace at Century Casino.
Ooh, I love that.
And it's just this really nice reminder that sometimes it's not just about the food itself, but it's the people who serve the food that can make a dining experience truly unforgettable.
I can't wait.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we are savoring all those delicious details of Edmonton's food scene. Before we took a little detour to explore homemade pickled beets, we were talking about how sometimes, it's the people serving the food that make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get caught up in the menu, the ambiance, the Instagrammability of it all.
Yeah.
But, a truly memorable dining experience often comes down to that human connection.
Exactly. And speaking of human connection, we have this incredible review about Candace at Century Casino. Now, this isn't about some fancy Michelin star meal or anything.
Right.
It's about Candace's warm smile, her attentiveness, how she anticipates her guests' needs, and just genuinely makes them feel special.
That's what's so powerful about this review, right?
Yeah.
It highlights how genuine hospitality can transform a meal from, simply satisfying to truly heartwarming.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of being seen, valued, cared for that leaves that lasting impression.
And it really makes you realize that good service isn't just about taking orders and delivering food. It's about creating an experience.
Yeah, that's sure.
Have you ever had one of those meals where the food was just okay, but the service was so incredible that you left feeling really happy?
Oh, absolutely. I remember this one time I was traveling solo in a new city. Feeling a little lost, a little homesick. And I stumbled upon this tiny little cafe. Nothing fancy, but the owner was this incredibly kind woman who chatted with me, made recommendations, made me feel so welcome.
Yeah.
And it completely turned my day around.
It's amazing how those little acts of kindness can have such a big impact.
Totally.
And you know what? It goes both ways.
Right.
As a customer, we have the power to make someone's day with a simple thank you.
Totally.
A genuine compliment, or even just a smile.
I couldn't agree more. It's about recognizing that there's a person behind that service.
Yeah.
Someone who's putting in effort to make our experience enjoyable.
So to all our listeners out there, remember to appreciate those who go the extra mile.
Yeah.
It costs nothing to be kind, and you never know how much your words might brighten someone's day.
Well said. Okay. Now that we've had our heartwarming moment, are you ready to fire up the grill?
Always.
Yeah.
We can't wrap up our Edmonton food journey without mentioning this BBQ pork burger recipe from the BBQ King.
It's the BBQ King.
The BBQ King. Just the name.
It does have a certain ring to it, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like this person has reached the pinnacle of BBQ mastery.
I know. So what caught your eye about this particular recipe?
Well, for starters, it seems surprisingly approachable.
Okay.
Even for someone like me who's, more comfortable with a baking sheet than a grill.
Yeah.
It's got all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Ground pork, breadcrumbs, BBQ sauce. But there's this homemade BBQ sauce.
Okay.
With honey and apple cider vinegar.
Ooh, I love that.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah. It's those little touches of homemade goodness that elevate a dish from ordinary to extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's taking a classic recipe and infusing it with your own personal flair.
And just imagine the smell of that BBQ sauce simmering on the stove.
Yeah.
Making my mouth water already.
We'll leave the full BBQ pork burger adventure for you to discover on your own.
Yes.
You can find the complete recipe on bbqsecrets.ca. Yes, bbqsecrets.ca. But before you rush off to fire up the grill, let's take a moment to reflect on all the delicious insights we've gathered during our Edmonton food deep dive. So we've explored cooking tips that can save you from kitchen chaos. We've navigated the highs and lows of that Edmonton burger scene.
Yeah.
And we've uncovered some true hidden gems that really showcase that city's culinary diversity.
We even dabbled in the art of homemade pickle beets.
Yes, we did.
And got our grilling game on.
Yes.
With the BBQ King's legendary pork burger recipe.
What a delicious journey it's been.
It really has.
But before we say goodbye, let's take a moment to reflect on all the delicious insights we've gathered during our Edmonton food deep dive.
Sounds like a plan.
What are your final thoughts for our listener?
Well, first and foremost, I think we've learned that Edmonton's food scene is much more than meets the eye.
It is.
It is a vibrant tapestry of flavors, cultures, and experiences, just waiting to be explored.
Absolutely. And while online reviews can be helpful, it's important to remember that taste is subjective.
So true.
What one person finds rubbery, another might consider perfectly cooked.
Exactly.
It's all about personal preference.
Don't be afraid to trust your own taste buds.
Yeah.
And venture beyond, like, the well-trodden path.
Yeah.
You never know what hidden culinary treasures you might discover.
And as we learned from Candace at Century Casino, sometimes it's the people who serve the food, not just the food itself, that can make a dining experience truly unforgettable.
It's those small gestures of kindness, attentiveness, genuine hospitality that can elevate a meal from simply satisfying to truly heartwarming.
So as you embark on your own culinary adventures in Edmonton, remember to be open to new experiences, appreciate that human element, and most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Enjoy it.
Until next time, happy eating, and don't be afraid to get a little adventurous in the Edmonton food scene.